Hi everyone, so welcome to the last video of our 30 days of JavaScript challenge. This is the 30th video and we have come to an end of our JavaScript series, and the last question is going to be a very easy one. The question name is calculator with method chaining. Now before moving on with anything further, we should see that what is actually method chaining. Okay, so let's move on to see what is method chaining. Okay. So it is a programming technique, or it is a way in which we are calling multiple methods, okay, in a single line of code. Okay, let's see, like we have created an object here. Okay, now what is happening, we are calling sum here and we are calling two uppercase, both are methods, right, and we are calling them in a single line. So this is this way of calling the function in the single line of code is called method chaining. In this, one function is connected with another function, means whatever output that we are getting from this function, it will be the result, whatever result we are getting from this function from sum, the changes will be made into that result from two uppercase and it will be stored in result. Okay, so let's see here. Method chaining is a programming technique that allows you to call multiple methods of on an object in a single line of code, right? So we are creating an object here and we are calling sum here, and the result, whatever sum is carrying, we are changing that sum to uppercase, right? And in this way we have chained our result. Now what we have been said here, that it increases the readability of the code. Okay, like we can see here, it is looking so concise. We have used call to method in the same line, and it has reduced one line of code, right? So this is basically used when we have repeated method calls. Okay, let's say I have one more function where I am finding the concatenation or something else. Let's say I am trying to find the difference, so I can just and what I want is whatever result I am getting from the sum, it needs to be the difference needs to be found from that result. So for that, what we will do, after sum we will call difference. So whatever result we are getting from here, we will find the difference from that value. So this is how we are using method chaining. Okay, so as told that it makes your code more readable and concise, and it is useful when we have to make multiple call methods. We have to call multiple methods, and the thing is, it also creates like an order, right? First we will be calling sum, after that whatever result we are getting from the sum, that value only will be changed to uppercase, right? So this kind of makes the code in a synchronous way, or we can say it provides us a certain pattern to the code, that after sum, the uppercase, whatever result we are getting, it will be made changes according to the second function that is being called. So this is called method chaining. Now let's move on to the question. So what we have been given here, we have been given a class. Okay, so we need to design a calculator class in which we can perform different operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division and exponentiation. Now we all know what is addition, subtraction and all. What we have to do here is we have to create function, and each function will perform their own operation. And let's say we are adding some value. Okay, whatever result we are getting from add, if let's say we are calling subtract after that, that result only we need to make changes in the for the subtraction. Let's say I am calling sum here. Okay, and after that I am calling subtract here. So if I am, whatever result I am getting from this sum, the result, whatever result I am getting, in that result only we need to reduce the value. Okay, so let's say our subtraction is passing 2 here, and our initial value for the result was 0. Okay, now we have passed sum and the value now becomes 2, right? We are getting 2 here, and now we need to subtract 2 from 2. So our result value should be 2 and we need to reduce 2 from it. So our resultant should be 0. In this way we need to continue our result. Means the result from one method should be accessible in the other one. So, and also we need to create a constructor here, okay, in which we will be initializing the result, or we will be initializing the initializing the result, and we will be able to access that result in all the functions. So for add, we have to simply add the value and return the result. In subtract, the same we have to do, like subtract the value and return it. For multiply, we need to multiply it. In divide, what we have been told, that if we have the value, that whatever value we are getting, it is 0, then we need to throw an error called division by 0 is not allowed, okay. Otherwise we can perform the division also. And then we have par, in which we need to, like, whatever result we are getting, we need to find the par of that, okay. Let's say we have value as 2 and result as 3, okay. So we need to find 3 par 2, okay. So 3 will be the base value and I will value will be the power value. So this is that in the par, and when we are calling the get result, it should return the final result, whatever it is expected, okay. So this is the basic requirement in this question. So we have 6 functions here, in which 5 of them we have to perform some basic operations and we need to return those, and in the last one we simply need to return the result. So in the I will be showing one function only. Let's say we have subtract function, okay. Now in this we are passing a value, and in our constructor we have declared this dot result, and this result will have some initial value, right? So whatever value we are getting, let it be. Now we have this dot result, and whatever changes will be made will be stored in this only. So what we need to do here is, we have to use method chaining, right? So in order to use method chaining, we will be returning this from each function, okay. This will be returned. Now this will carry the entire detail of whatever changes were made in this function, and it will be returned to the function whichever is called just after that, okay. So now let's say we have this dot result here, right? We need to subtract it. So what we will do, this dot result minus is equals to value, and what we will do, we will return this. Now this whatever this we are returning, right? So this will contain all the updated value, and let's say we have called multiplication. After this we have called subtract, and after that we are calling multiply. So now we are returning this, okay, and this will be shown in the result for multiply, and whatever this result is going for multiply function, it will be multiplied with the value. Let's say we have passed 5 here, okay, and our initial value was 10. So in the subtract, what happened, our initial value for result became 5, right? Because it was initial value was 5 and we passed 5 here, so final result that we are getting will be 5, and this 5 will be passed into the multiply function. And let's say we have 6 here, so the final value, or whatever, if let's say we are calling get result after this, so what will happen, we will multiply 5 and multiply by 6, and we will be getting 30 as our final result when we are calling get result, okay. So now let's move on to the code, so you will get an idea of how to implement this approach. So let's see the code now, okay. So first what we will do, we have a constructor, so with that we will initialize a value, we will store it in result, and now we will simply add the value, subtract the value, and we will return this dot result plus is equals to value. And what we need to do, we need to return this. I will copy this and paste in all of them. So in subtract, what we did, we had to do, we had to subtract it. In multiplication, we will multiply. In divide, what we had to do, we had to check, right? So I will check here if value is equals 0, then we had to throw an error. So I will throw error. What we have to throw in error, that division by arrow 0 is not allowed. So I will throw that error. Otherwise, what we had to do, we had to divide the value simply. So we will divide it. In power, we had to find the powers. We will find the power. And in this, what we need to do, we will simply return the result. So I will return this dot result. Now let's try to run it. So the sample test cases have passed. Let's try to submit it. So this code has been accepted. That's it for today, guys. Thank you for watching. We have come to the end of the series of our JavaScript challenge, and in order to continue with me in the further playlist, please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell notification so you will be notified every time I post a new video. Thank you for watching.